What's up, guys? Dave Lipson here, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of having a fully written out diet and schedule. Listen, if you guys have tried doing anything with nutrition, maybe you've tried paleo, the carnivore diet, intermittent fasting, tracking your macros, those are all great starts when it comes to maybe sifting out, better food quality, or maybe even trying to push out poorer choices or stay within a caloric number and rough guideline. But I gotta tell you, that stuff is probably only a third of the equation when it really comes to making strong progress with your nutrition. The problem with tracking macros, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, where you'll get a caloric prescription and how much protein, carbs, and fat of that caloric prescription should be allocated to those respective macronutrients, is that it doesn't take into account food quality, and that's number one. Food quality, it's just as important as food quantity, and you can't just eat the foods you like. You gotta eat the foods that like you back. You gotta eat the foods that are gonna help with your digestion, your absorption, your hormone health, that are gonna be supportive of muscle gain, of fat loss, and all your health markers. So when you're just kind of using these guidelines, trying to fit whatever you can find throughout your day into these caloric and macronutrient profiles, one, you don't have the consistency and the quality in your diet. The other important thing you don't get is the timing of it, because all of these things are important. What you're eating, when you're eating, how much you're eating are all gonna influence the signals in your body. And this is something we take very seriously and take a lot of pride in, is that concept of targeted nutrient timing, where we're doing some strategic stuff around the training, we're doing some strategic stuff when you're not doing your heavy lifting, or maybe when you're doing your cardio or aerobic based activity, and it really allows the athlete to balance the anabolic signals of growing muscle mass with the catabolic signals of being able to shrink body fat. It's how we create an inverse relationship between muscle mass and body fat, and that's a very hard thing to achieve without a lot of strategy. But even before we even get there, I think the reason why a lot of people like just something general like tracking macros is because it gives them a lot of flexibility. But for most of you guys, you don't need flexibility. You need discipline. You need to be able to eat the right things in the right quantities at the right time before you can go off track or off the map. Otherwise, you might make a little progress, but you're gonna quickly plateau after that, and nothing really remarkable is going to happen. And I know a lot of you guys are highly motivated, you wanna make the change, but unfortunately, there's no one easy pill. You have to do all these things right. The quantities, the quality, the timing of it, and then that constant process of prescribe, assess, and adjust on a weekly basis, because as you change, so does your demands of what you need to be eating to continue to progress. And then finally, here's the best reason for having a fully written out diet. It takes all of the decisions out of your hands. It's like a playbook, right? The coach calls the plays, they say, hey bro, you're gonna eat this, and all you need to do is run them. You don't have to think about, what am I supposed to eat? When am I supposed to eat? You don't have to worry about any of that. You don't even have to worry about tracking a macronutrient. All you need to do is eat the things that are written on the diet, and then we need to assess that diet to see how you're doing. Now, this is something that I've discovered over the past few years is so much more wildly effective in terms of coaching athletes with nutrition than just giving them numbers. Is actually talking to them and saying, hey, what's your schedule? What time do you wake up? What time do you train? What time do you go to bed? What kind of foods do you like? From there, we start to pick out specific types of foods that they're gonna really enjoy eating, but also serve their goals. We sometimes eliminate foods that maybe they like, but are not gonna serve their goals. And they now have something, a framework that they can lean on, that they like to do, that works with their schedule and logistics, and that allows them to do it consistently over long periods of time, and that's where the real magic happens. So, long story short, you need to get yourself a fully written out diet. It's gonna be really beneficial. And if you're interested in getting one from me, book a one-on-one call. Let's sit down for an hour and let's talk about where you've been, where you are, and where you'd like to go. We'll dive into training, nutrition, lifestyle, medical related stuff, and we'll carve you out this fully written out custom plan so that you can thrive, not just keep bouncing from diet to diet and ending back in the same place.